welcome to BonkTable. I'm Mass, another Starcraft podcast. With me are my two wonderful co-hosts, Benjamin. Introduce yourself.
Yo.
Apex Chinchilla. Introduce yourself.
Hello.
Sweet. They have all been introduced. Like and subscribe, join the BonkTable Discord, listen to the podcast, all that fun stuff. There we go, I plugged. Our topic today for these two fine gentlemen is our thoughts on Wave 1 and the preview spoilers for Wave 2. Now, there is a disclaimer that we have heard from Archon Studios. These cards are not finalized, so there may be a couple changes coming down. And also another big one is we don't have point values or gas values for the units and the tactics cards themselves. So until we see that, these could be incredibly strong or incredibly weak. We have no idea. But we can go over what we would expect to see from play and from just their abilities and so on. So, yeah. What would you two gentlemen like to start first? Do you want to talk about Wave 1, or do you want to get into the fun, juicy stuff of Wave 2 spoilers?
Well, let's do Wave 1 first, because we have a time limit, and if we start talking about Wave 2, we might just keep going on hypotheticals.
Yeah, we'll never talk about Wave 1 again.
Yeah, right. we should definitely do the Wave 1 stuff.
Wave 1 is dead, long live Wave 2.
I mean, it's like, literally, yes.
Well, we've been playing this game for like 8 months, and just Wave 1 has 3 factions with about 5 to 7 units each. there's only so many combos you could do with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what faction would you two gentlemen like to start with?
Do we need to go through faction by faction, or we just do like a general overview thing and then get on to Wave 2? Because I think we did like faction-based episodes, didn't we?
No, not
we
really.
We talked about best cards.
We talked about best cards, but we didn't go into like the units or anything.
Sure.
And the idea was we weren't going to do like an episode like that until like Wave 3 or 4, because then there would be enough stuff to really talk about and dig deep, like War Machine.
Now I remember this. It's been months since we did that.
I know, right? We don't record as often, but we still record.
Yes. Time flies when you're, adults and have to do work.
when someone is a rural druggist.
Well, it pays the bills. Slinging pills to pay the bills.
This man is on stims. This man is stimming so hard right now.
I am not. I'm definitely not on stims. We're staying awake for this.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, what faction do you guys want to start with? Talk about their Wave 1 stuff.
Like Protoss, because that's the first thing in the alphabet.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Sure.
PTZ, yeah, Protoss.
All right. Well, Ben, you played Protoss. What's your thoughts on it? How good was it in Wave 1?
They're the best faction in Wave 1. It's not particularly close. So Wave 1 kind of went through a cycle of, you started with everybody was running a bunch of Stalkers and a bunch of Marauders because of a bunch of Stalkers, and all of that happened because of Roaches. And then, as the game went on, people were like, but wait, Roaches don't kill anything. So then everybody kind of moved away from Stalkers and moved into Hydras and Zerglings and what have you. And it turns out that Adepts with Shade into melee just outperformed everything else in the game because they were fighting effectively in 2 phases and locking units down. So the game pretty much Wave 1 is very much a game full of lights, where that Stalker or that Adepts pretty much dominate. And therefore Protoss is in the lead. A close second is Terran, because Terran's ability to run away and shoot with 18-inch and 16-inch range guns is just pretty impressive, and Raynor is reasonably broken.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hide that.
Broken.
So he's in that broken range where he'll trick you into thinking that he's not broken, but he still is, though. And then Zerg, unfortunately, to go with the magic outlook, is they have to play fair. And as anybody who's played a lot of games will tell you, that's not a good place to be. When the other people are not playing a fair game, it's not ideal to be the army that has to play a fair game.
Yeah, they're kind of people are like trying Lings, and Lings have a big problem. Like there are times where Lings are good, but they're starting to fall off. And I think with the advent of Wave 2, they're going to fall off even more. I know a lot of players have been pulling away from Lings and Zerg and just going more Hydras because it's the thing that can do effective listing. But the problem with Hydras is that if they get looked at, they'll die, and it's like, oh god, you're just playing like trying to get the Alpha Strike onto people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. I also find with Protoss there's a lot of like just shenanigans you can just pull off, and it's very recoverable from your mistakes. Like it's not as punishing compared to like having Zerglings in the open, just watching them just get lit up, or having Marines that can't redeploy with Raynor for some reason. Either you just don't have enough cards, or they're in the wrong spot and Raynor's not nearby, and you just watch them die. You're like, oh, cool, they're dead. Well, Protoss has just like innate durability with its shielding and higher wound count. But if you do start knocking off models for like model bleed, so like knock off a zealot or an adept or two before they get in, they're not really doing enough heavy lifting to fight their way out. That's kind of like the only good thing going for you against Protoss is if you can kind of hit them before they get in, they enter that melee stage.
I think like Protoss is kind of the design difficulty of a faction with a lot of tech. Like they're innately durable, so they don't have the disadvantage of being frail with their tech. And then you've got all the weird stuff you can do, especially in movement, which is very, very strong, which is also why Raynor is really strong. And so like there's not enough in the game to kind of counteract that. So a well-played Protoss is a huge advantage between the tech and the durability.
Yeah.
Even if like the damage output doesn't sound that great.
Like I was playing Azimu won the TTS tournament, and one of his lists was like 3 adepts and 5 zealots. And I did a couple like games with it for the channel. And one of the things I found with the zealots is that they are incredibly easy to hide. 3 model melee guy on a 40 mil basis, super easy just to hide in the terrain. To like
size 2, low model count. Low model count is often an advantage in a terrain heavy game.
Yeah, what this like, especially with the official PDF maps, it kind of is like there's.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Like, there's definitely some, I think, growing pains on the dev end with Wave 1 just generally.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think a lot of the stats are too good for basic units. I usually throw Marines out there. Like, Marines should probably hit slightly worse than they do.
Yeah,
because they're an elite unit. Either fewer shots or hitting on a 4 instead of a 3. Like Zerglings shouldn't have 2 attacks apiece because you can't make them cheap because their potential output is super high.
Yeah.
But then they're super frail, so they're expensive and frail and die anyway, so you don't play them.
Like I had a 18-man Raptor unit get into my Marines and just like fucking ate them all. I was like, and then I.
Oh yeah, no. If you get the full unit into something, it dies. The problem is that Raptor unit's like at 300 points. Yeah. And an two elite supply, and then it dies to whatever else is behind there.
Mm-hmm. Once it's done killing that, it just dies. And it's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it kills something and then dies. So they're really hard to use effectively in the max units, and they're too expensive to want to play in the min units. So,
like, I would have rather seen Zergling squads be like maybe 6 and 12 kind of thing. Like decrease the model
that could
count.
Work with their current stats, or they could just have, like I said, slightly fewer attacks and be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
That would also work just fine for being 18. You said, you could probably slightly adjust zealot durability because you can hide them so well. I think at one point in like before even the founder stuff was out at Adepticon, didn't zealots have better armor than they do now?
Yeah, they were 4 up.
Protoss had like an 85% win rate or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there were a few changes happened at once though.
Yeah.
But I don't know all of the things. I've kind of heard some random rumors that at one point they were 4 up, at one point they were like a 2-4 unit. So there are either 2 of them for 1 supply or 4 of them for 2 supply. But
I don't remember ever seeing that one. I think the documents were like publicly shared when they were a 4 up armor.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's also like pictures of the zealots as a 4-man unit in
Okay.
like official like diagrams and stuff, like coherency and things like
Sure.
that, or engagements where it's like this zealot unit has charged this, and it's like 4 guys in instead of like the 3, so it's like, oh, okay, you know,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
2-4 would actually be super interesting with their current durability.
Hmm.
Figuring
Yeah, I
what you're
guess
doing with the
shield was a
pricing.
little too good, but yeah, they could go down 1 shield, you could go down to 2 shields, and then they would honestly probably be fine.
Yeah, just a slight adjustment. And then like the tech stuff, like it was really weird about how does the adept place ability even work?
Oh, were you?
There's still some stuff that needs an FAQ that hopefully we'll get
It is
eventually.
gone. It is gone from dude does not need line of sight, can't place into melee, to needs line of sight, cannot place into melee, to now doesn't need line of sight again, can place into melee. And you're like, God damn it!
But doesn't need line of sight now. I thought you needed line of sight to place
it needed line of sight for like a whole 3 or 4 weeks, and then the official PDF dropped, and everyone read through it, and they were like, oh, it's back to no line of sight. Like, oh, here we go. Like,
It needed line of sight for it. It was questionable, like it was not, and then it was answered, and then it needed line of sight from the rules answer for about 20 hours.
yeah.
So like,
See, I missed
like,
this whole thing. I thought it needed line of sight again, so it does not need line of sight now.
It does not need line of sight.
It does not need line of sight. Like placing any token or whatever, none of those need line of sight unless they say they do. And basically, and targeting is only if you are measuring to a unit effectively.
Yeah. So concussive shot, I only need to see my friend for concussive shot. I don't need to see the guy charging me.
Okay.
That concussive shot is bending like an S around corners to hit that zealot unit.
Well, I mean, like concussive shot being just needing to see your friendly makes sense because you're just laying down fire in front of them. Yeah, like that's what the ability is supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but
like
people
you know
like,
your friend is getting shot or is going to get charged, and then you stand there like with a reactive shot to shoot at somebody that's charging in.
Yeah, to try to slow him down. That's a sensible thing.
Yeah, but people are like, oh, because the debuff goes onto that enemy unit, you have to see that enemy unit for the debuff to work. Like,
yeah, I mean, for a lot of the rules are / were maybe I need to look at them again. Sort of unclear on how they operate at a base level. Targeting was definitely one of them for quite a while.
Yeah, targeting still is. We've kind of pieced it together because everything that's been ruled one way or another, right? Like every time that we see a ruling, it kind of ends up that direction, where targeting just means that you're just, the only thing you're targeting is the thing you're measuring to.
Yep.
But it doesn't say that anywhere, right? Like we're getting that contextually from various repeated rulings. And I would like to see that not be the case.
So it's just written somewhere, so when someone asks, you be like, here you go, have fun. Like,
yeah, just tell me what targeting, like tell me what the rules for targeting are. Like just straight up. Please do that.
That would
if you're gonna have targets in your game, like have the word target in your game. And just say what that is. I don't really care which way it goes. Like I don't think either one's right or wrong. I just want to know which one I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, consistent play. Yeah. As for Terran, we've already talked about Jim Raynor and his reactivity ability being really strong, and Marines running off and shooting. I've been playing like little Marauder units with lasers because like 170 points, and just using the range band of like 16 inches to just kind of hit people before they can get to me, and just be like, aha, I've shot you. What's been really strong and maybe needs another look at, but it's just, as I feel like as Wave 1 has been going around, there has been that meta development of, as you mentioned before, Ben, like Stalkers to deal with Roaches, but then Roaches didn't do damage, and then all the Protoss went Lights, and then it's like, okay, well, Marauders don't really kill Lights that well, so, started taking big units of Marines with, like, AGG-12s and rocket launchers to get all those additional hits, and it's just kind of been, like, an arms race of moving around and shifting the meta, but it seems like it's kind of settled out at this point, where it's just, as you mentioned before, a lot of light-heavy things, because Goliaths aren't good, so no one's taking Goliaths.
Yep.
What else? Zerglings aren't good because they're feast or famine. They're usually famine. So Zerg players are taking less Zerglings, and then for Protoss, Stalkers are good. They have the small problem though; they don't really do that many attacks, and so if you whiff a roll, it's just like you're not getting anything out of them, and they do cost a pretty penny. So it's just like you're kind of like, oh, let's move away from Stalkers because at least like my Zealots can just be durable and just keep fighting for like 2 to 3 turns before they die off. What is enough in a 5-round game to kind of score out and win?
Yeah, the single Stalker is very expensive.
How much is a single Stalker these days?
170.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, it's good though.
It is
right.
good.
Like that's the hard part. The hard part is single Stalker is expensive, but it's really good because with Adept Shade, to get precision 1, like 4 dice on 3s with precision 1 is a very consistent 3 to 4 hits.
Yep.
And that's real good.
So is it double Stalker? Or people just like, let's not take double Stalker?
Well, so then, but the problem is like 170 is a lot for that guy. So then, and that's not enough damage to like really put a huge dent in something. So it's not a very exciting activation. So people are taking double Stalker still. But what ends up happening is you're just like, well, if I'm not surging, these attacks feel kind of mediocre, and I'm not surging against that much stuff. And I don't really care about killing roaches. So Stalkers are kind of not seeing that much play, and then you go through the whole cycle where without targets to shoot at, Marauders feel kind of meh. Like when they're only doing one damage, they're not that exciting. So you stop seeing Marauders, and you just kind of run into it,
Yeah.
We need to get back to like, I'm expecting with what we've seen from Wave 2, right? All of those are armored units. We're gonna see a resurgence of like anti-armor and therefore armored units. So I think Stalkers might be back on the menu.
Okay. Okay, Isengard Orc.
But do you play Stalkers or do you play the new shiny and the Immortal?
I think you do both.
Yeah.
Immortal's 2 supply. You can only afford so many 2 supply things at the end of the day. And I think that's kind of where we're going to end up, is that people are going to bring 1 Immortal and then like maybe a second Immortal, maybe a double Stalker, or maybe like 1 to 2 single Stalkers to support it. Because activation advantage is so important in this game.
Yeah, like especially with the rise of the Ravager and just spitting bile on people.
Yeah, and it's going to become more important when we're putting circles out that blow up at the end of the phase.
Yeah. So we should probably get into Wave 2 then. We've kind of here's the thing about Wave 1. I don't want to like end it off on super negative because like we kind of like hit a lot of the problem children of Wave 1, but like the core system and the core gameplay loop is good, and we talk about it in this aspect because we do love the game. We're not here to like hate on it. That's not what this podcast is about. It's just talk about tactics and strategy and be honest about a lot of things. And as people play,
the supply system is great.
Yeah.
The core gameplay loop is great. Units feel like they do things most of the time, like you're not just sitting there, which is nice. I mean, I think it's okay to look at things and say maybe there are some growing pains. Like this is also their first game.
Yeah, I would. It's for sure their big, like their first big game. They have a couple.
Yeah, this is their first table. I think it's their first like tabletop, full miniatures. They've got some board games, right?
Yeah, they got like a He-Man game. But
isn't there like a Heroes of Might and Magic 3 board game, which sounds awesome?
Yeah, that does actually sound cool.
Are we gonna
big
be
Heroes of Might and Magic fan over here?
A Heroes of Might and Magic 3 board game podcast? Is that what this is?
No.
No.
No, we are not.
Never,
but yeah, I mean,
I don't think I could ever imagine doing a board game podcast.
it'd be weird.
Like, I just feel like there's not enough content.
Unless we did Root. There's a lot for Root.
I mean, yeah, I suppose there's a few like huge board games you can do. Like, how many expansions are there for the Arkham horror game?
Oh, Jesus. All of them.
So many.
What about a Twilight Imperium podcast? That could go for a while.
Twilight Imperium's a massive game as well. But yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely some growing pains. Like, I love how fast the game is. Like, 5 rounds feels good. I think I like the table size, but I think some of the ranges make the table size feel small sometimes.
Oh, I agree.
I agree.
It's kind of one of those things where I think like the table size is fine, but you could drop a lot of ranges by like 2 inches.
I would not be surprised if they did a range crunch between like the 16s drop to 14s, the 14s go to 12, the 12s go to 10, and like 10 and 8 is kind of like the new standard, like 8 to 10.
Yeah, I think that would seem a little more reasonable given the size of the tables.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I like
decrease the speed on stuff, but like, yeah, there's a couple, like the top end of ranges probably should come down in a couple aspects, because it's just like, what the fuck, like there's been plenty of times with Marines or Marauders, I'm at the edge of the range, you can't shoot me, but I'm gonna pop a cap in your ass, have fun.
I think rather than decreasing the speeds, I think you would maybe adjust how charges work a little bit. Like in that case,
you need to see your target.
Or do a D3 instead of a D6, so you can't like super long bomb.
But does that? So then that comes to the question of, does that actually fix ranges at that point? Because now you as the charger need to still now have to get closer, but the ranges went down, but then you're in the same issue. Or does it just make it feel better on the board?
It almost feels like it doesn't, like you don't have a lot of setup.
Explain. What do you mean by that?
Well, like, a lot of times you're threatening to shoot on turn 1, possibly charging immediately on turn 2. It's only a 5-round game, so that does make some level of sense, but it does feel like a lot of times you're like fully engaged before you have stuff even all the way like on the table set up. Which is a little weird sometimes. It's like, man, I really wish I had more before we were engaged.
Yeah, but they kind of like in their design, it's like a 7-round game where they chopped off turn 1 and or turn 1 and 6, like a 6-round game kind of thing. They chopped off 1 and 6 just to not have it drag on as long.
Yeah, and it doesn't, like, it feels snappy, but like sometimes it almost feels like too fast in the early game.
I've been finding with the early game it's a lot of positioning to like, is there something I can take? Can I exploit something? What am I trying to establish, kind of thing. And then round 2, turn 2 and turn 3 just go to all hell, and then turn 4 is like, oh, we came out of that alive. All right, how do we end this?
Yeah, and I think some of the early game stuff maybe feels bad because if you try to do it with Zerglings, you don't have enough on the table to flood.
Yeah, I do agree. Like if you're trying to do like a Zergling swarm list, you simply do not have enough supply of Zerglings on the table. Because like if you're playing like a 6 supply mission, that's only 3 units if you're trying to max out. That's nothing. That's like,
and you really can't. Like you need your queen on, so that's 2. That's 2 units of Zerglings. Yeah. Maybe 2 max and a min.
And that does kind of play into the min unit of Zerglings is really bad.
Oh my
like
God.
it's so squishy. Like if the min unit of Zerglings was 150, then we might look at min units of Zerglings more often, and then this would be a different conversation because you would be able to flood 3 or 4 units of Zerglings plus your queen. Like you could do Queen Kerrigan and 4 units of Zerglings then. Yeah, that becomes a much more reasonable like table.
Maybe it is strictly like a Zergling problem with the feeling like you don't have enough time there.
Yeah, I did the Zergling spam list in a bed, and it literally came down to I just do not have enough activations and Zerglings on the table at once to allow myself to get shot, lose a unit of Zerglings, or 2 units of Zerglings, and still keep moving forward. Like you're bleeding so many bodies that you just don't have enough.
Yeah. So maybe that's a Zergling issue more than it is like a general game issue.
Oh, I think it's a Zergling issue. Like, I would not be surprised, and I hope they do this. they come back in like a year and a half, and they re-update the Wave 1 stuff. Because like I think like Wave 1 feels good in a lot of aspects. There are some bugs and problems. But they come back and readjust it because we now have the Siege Tank and the Ravager that we're going to talk about shortly, and they are going to fuck Zerglings to death.
Well, and like I said, I think also, Wave 1 stuff almost feels too elite for what is kind of like the core of each faction. But there's not enough elites right now to pressure them anyway. But like Marines hit on 3s and self-buff their hit, so you hit like 88% of your 18 shots with a max unit of Marines.
Yeah,
consistently.
You're getting like 14 hits.
Probably more. It's probably 15 or 16 most of the time with when you also stim packing.
Yeah. There's been times though where I've even rolled with a stim and it's like, here's my 8 hits, and it's like, and you stimmed? Sure. Yeah, I sure did. I love
and like Zerglings make 36 attacks, so how cheap can you make that max unit of Zerglings?
You can't.
And Hydras, for all that they're a glass cannon, if they get to shoot something, it usually dies.
Yep, and that's the thing. Like, it's, I don't know. They're like their top end needs to come down a little bit, but and then
just a smidge, and not like huge amounts. Like I said, you can definitely like go back in a year when you've got more releases and have Marines hit on a 4 and do something slightly different with Zerglings, where they can be kind of a more swarmy type unit that they really don't exist as currently, and you could probably adjust some of the ranges back down a little bit. That would do a fair bit with Hydras. Hydras probably also could hit on 4s at that point, because I think they hit on 3s right now.
Yeah, they sure do. Same with Stalkers.
Yeah.
Then we have the Twilight Council.
Roaches could probably be a 4-up a defense save rather than a 3.
Oh my god, it feels so bad when like the Roach, like the Marauders. Like, don't get me wrong, Marauders are tanky as fuck with vets and medic support. Like, people hate it. Like, and I get it. It's really annoying to try and chew through that. But man, when the Roach is just wandering around, not even on a zone, like at least the Marauder has to be on a zone. You know where it's going to get that bonus. The Roach is just hanging out. He lives that 3-up life.
Yeah, no. Roach sitting there with a 3-up, 5-up, like.
Yeah, and then he's burrowing and he's like, I'm a little asshole. And you're like, fuck off. Get out of here. And there's been plenty of times where I've shot a Roach with like the Marauder shots, and it's like, okay, 1 surge, and then my opponent saves it all, and I'm like, okay, cool, you take 2 damage. Have fun, Roach. Piece of shit.
It's the Roach special. But yeah, I mean, like I said, the core gameplay experience is awesome. It just eventually probably needs to be a relook at how some of this is, and it doesn't need to be like soon or anything. It's
like a year and a half, like between 1 and 2 years, maybe a year and a half.
Sell a new card pack with updated cards for a season or something. I don't know, it's fine.
Okay. Cool. Anyway, we love the game, so let's talk about our new favorite thing: Wave 2 speculation. I am looking at the Ravager. We're going to start with that guy because he's been open for the past half hour. That's what everyone's been staring at if they're watching this on YouTube.
Okay.
Just have the Ravager out.
Yeah, literally. That's the screen that's being recorded is the Ravager.
All right.
Well, he puts down bile.
Do we have a base size for this thing?
80. Okay. 80 millimeter.
He's a big boy. All right.
Please continue. The smallest of the Wave 2 things. Come on now.
He's still a big boy. Sorry for interrupting you, Ben. Talk about your bile.
Yeah, so he puts down bile. And that's kind of his main thing. Like, it's a little weird, right? Because his shots, I mean, we don't know what they cost, but it's got a bunch of wounds. I'm gonna guess it costs somewhere around a Stalker. Just like looking at it. And yeah, you like all of your damage is coming from bile.
Yeah, because
it has 4 shots on 3s for 1 damage with light surge.
Yeah, but D3 plus 1. Getting 2 damage for sure.
That's true, it is plus 1 light surge. Like, I don't know. And the range is kind of short, and the range is significantly shorter than Bile's range, which is very weird, because most of the time it's way better to place the Bile and just be out of range. so that you're not going to get to shoot.
So I know with the Ravager in like StarCraft 2, the video game, because we do have historical basis for all these minis, it's kind of nice to talk about and see how it translates to the tabletop. The bile is longer, while their actual plasma discharge, like their just normal shooting attack, is closer. Like they're usually sitting just behind roaches, and the roaches are spitting, and the Ravager's spitting, and the Ravager's biling over top of that. And then, the Protoss player, the Terran player, scatters away because they don't want to get hit by biles. So
right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's gonna in a video game, like, it forces a lot of micromanaging.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine, right? And you do lose shooting time when you're microing. In this game, like, what's gonna happen is it's assault phase, so they're gonna try really, really, really hard to have the last activation. So it's gonna push the game more towards more small units. And they're gonna be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna just drop 2 biles on that important unit that's already moved. And that way, that thing either doesn't get to shoot this turn or takes a giant chunk of damage. And I don't know. I guess my problem is, like, who does that feel good for?
I will straight out say I do not like the design.
Like,
I don't know that I think it's, like, massively overpowered.
No, I think,
but I don't like the design.
It's okay. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't.
I think we're kind of on the same page where neither of us enjoy the design. Like, it's auto hits, and it can hit more than one unit. Correct? It's every unit within 1 or 2 inches of that little token.
Yep, you got her. You could drop that thing on.
And you don't need line of sight for this because it's a token, and it's within, not completely within. So it's actually longer than you think it is.
It's like 17 and a half inches because of how the tokens work out.
And it doesn't actually target anything, so, like, it goes through. Did we ever decide if it goes through terrain?
I think it doesn't. I don't know.
Why?
I don't remember.
It doesn't target anything. You just take hits.
And each unit affected.
So I think you're measuring from the token. So I believe that creates things as targets of the token.
The token now has targeting.
But a token can't draw line of sight.
Why not?
Because it's like the way the line of sight rules are written. It's very specific.
But all tokens are size 0. So a size 2 would block.
That's what I mean.
Like
tokens aren't in the line of sight rules. I mean, they could make it that way for sure. If they could do it that way, it's one of those things where, like, we would need an actual ruling on this. But it potentially goes through terrain. It's very long range, and it just is free hits. And it gets to do this on top of its regular attacks as well.
Yeah, but you're sticking this thing in the back, and you're, like, dumpstering biles. And if anyone really comes close to you, then you might shoot, or you just do what I've seen happen with this thing before. They just run away because they don't need to be up close in the fight.
You can also get into the fight depending on what it is. Like, you could get these things into adepts, because adepts don't surge against armor and will really struggle to kill these things, and they'll still do all the things they want to do.
It's just biling by it's just dropping biles right beside itself.
No, it doesn't need to, right? Because it's going to shoot them in the assault phase, and it's going to surge against them because they're light. They're not going to kill each other. They're just going to sit there and pillow fight while you're biling things.
Yeah, or you could just bile the adepts that you're engaged with and be like, here, eat this.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you can deep tunnel into melee because it's that silly set thing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
If you have something that struggles to kill 18 hit points of armored, you bile into them to protect yourself.
Oh, it is.
Like, sweet, you want your marauders to shoot me? What if I engage something stupid? I will burrow into a medic.
Apex.
Yeah.
I was just reading this between Deep Tunnel and Corrosive Bile and reading their tokens. Guess which one doesn't have displace?
Neither. Oh no, the bile does not have displace. You can't move the bile.
What?
I knew that.
What the fuck?
The other thing to point out about this is core. These are not elite.
Well, yeah, it's made out of a Ravager. A Ravager. This is what a grown-up sorry, this is what a grown-up Roach looks like. This is Papa Roach now.
The bile upgrades are really good. Like, the 2 inches is pretty good, and debuffing armor on those corrosive biles is really good.
It's got burrow ambush because of the roach. But I don't
don't think you want to. I don't think you want to burrow ambush.
No.
Because if you burrow ambush, it ends your activation, so you can't throw out the early bile if you wanted to.
Oh, that is true, yeah. You need that early bile. You're a freak of nature.
Well, I mean, you can throw it pretty far up there.
So you, I do know that when these bile tokens come down and activate, like if you have a bunch of them all hitting like the same target, you get to pick as the player which ones go off first. So if you have one set of Ravagers that have the debuff armor, you do theirs first, and you follow up with all the other biles that are regular. So like, and also like you can get affected by more than one, or more than one unit's biles, so you can just get dumpstered by like 10, 15, 20 hits with minus one armor. Like, Jesus.
So and bile, like the actual trigger on bile is a little bit weird too, because it's not during an action.
Yeah.
So certain abilities don't trigger on them.
Like which one?
Yeah.
Like anything that says during an action.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does not trigger.
Well, also, can you react? Reactions are one per action.
Yeah,
can you react infinite reactions? Like,
yes, I had that same question. You brought me back to a question I had when I first looked at this, and then I kind of put it down because I was like, no, we'll wait. They're not even out yet. Yes, how does reactions work with something that doesn't occur during an activation or an action? That was something else I had a question about. Like, these things are weird. And I don't know that I'm super high on the design, because it just feels like too many people are going to eat like 20 hits off of a couple of units of these things and just really not enjoy the game.
No, because like you can engage.
They literally. So to me, it's feast or famine the unit, right? Like if people, so either people are running away in the assault phase to avoid it, or they're out activating you, so you have to build a very specific list for these things. And then you're just like not hitting anything because they just move, or you're not hitting anything important. And then like I just can't. I'm struggling to find a situation where it will feel good for either player.
Like, yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's my issue with the design.
When it hits you, like when you're playing them and you hit stuff with them, you feel kind of good, I guess.
I think you feel great.
Not really. Like I don't know.
It feels cheesy to me.
It feels a little cheesy, and it's like it's it's efficient damage, but it's not crazy efficient damage.
No,
like
it doesn't surge or anything. You get your saves, but
yeah, you know. like 3 hits for a card is very good, right? 2 hits for a card is pretty standard. Bile is doing more than double the 2 hits for a card.
And also,
however,
it can touch multiple units.
Yeah, so yeah, if you get to set it up, if you get 10 hits for your card, yeah, you're feeling real good. Like that feels great.
You should be able to throw this into like Zerglings, or like if the bio ball is too tight and you can catch both the medics and the Marines.
And the Marauders and Jimmy. I love it.
I don't know that you'll too often get more than that, but I mean, especially if you're taking that upgrade to make it 2 inches off of the token, like that's a 5-inch bubble at that point.
Yeah, about like maybe 4.5.
Yeah, no, the token's 28 mil, right? So yeah, that's like a 5-inch bubble coming off of there.
Yeah, 25.4 millimeters is an inch.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So 25.4 times 4 plus 28, it's a bit over 5. Like, it's a pretty decent area. Even if you're just, like you said, forcing your opponent to run away from things, like, it's a decent area. It's kind of providing denial for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would need to see it more on the table, so I would need to see costs, but it feels at best awkward.
Yeah. I do struggle like with its design from that perspective, because like I just don't know how you're going to get into a situation where it feels where both people are having fun in a game with Ravagers on the table.
You know what? I think the Ravager is going to slow down games because people are going to be way more precise on their movement to not be hit by these things. What's going to cause a slowdown?
Yeah, like you're going to need to proxy. You're going to need proxy bases to avoid getting hit by multiple Ravager or get hit by Bile in multiple places, like you were just saying. Like.
Yeah. So when I read this at first, the first thing I thought of, because all three of us played a fair bit of Conquest, is when you could stack like 20 Aura of Death on on bone golems, and then like you wouldn't even bother to attack. You just charge at your opponent, then you just take 20 hits as soon as they activated. Like that's what this made me think of. And I was like, that wasn't like super overpowered, and like Old Dominion wasn't winning everything, but it sucked.
Yeah,
it really did.
It certainly did not feel good to play.
When your opponent said take Aura of Death 25, and you're like, oh god, and then you watch like your units melt.
That's kind of the first thing I thought of when I read Corrosive Bile. I was like, oh no. But, it's not out yet, so it could be prohibitively expensive.
It could be the cost of 30 Ravagers. I'm sorry, not they are Ravagers. 30 Roaches, and then it's like, oh, what are you playing this thing for?
Right. Yeah, I mean, points are always the biggest balancing factor. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if something costs too many points or whatever, you can balance anything with points, but I don't think you can make this thing fun with points, and that's my biggest problem with Ravager.
No, probably not. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Competitively, I assume it probably won't cause major problems for the game. Like I don't think it's going to be one of those types of issues. I agree. I think it'll feel cheesy when I'm using it, and it'll feel bad for or my opponent will outplay me, and it'll feel really bad, and I'll be like, wow, I spent a bunch of points on these Ravagers, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think people are gonna get hit by Bile for the first couple games, maybe 2 or 3, and then after that they're gonna be like, oh, I know what to do now. I'm not going to stay at the Bile and just leave, or play differently so that they don't have they have a free move. They can move away, or start taking 1 supply units who, if they do move, it doesn't feel as bad compared to a 2 supply, but has a lot more damage output. But they need to work with.
I definitely agree that people are going to take a lot more 1 supply units, right? I think
need the activations.
I think in a way that is somewhat problematic for the game, people are going to take more one supply unit. I do actually worry that it will become so important to play around things like Bile.
We are entering activation maxing territory.
Yeah, it's the return of the MSU 13 card list for Conquest. You play 13 cards.
Games always turn MSU's always powerful. You need to give incentive for it not to be. And I think Wave 1 did a pretty good job with that, though it was still powerful to go last.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a step back from that design space.
I think the other thing to remember is that the vast majority of games played of a given game system are not competitive games. And I think this thing feels really bad outside of the competitive area.
Yeah.
If you're pushing models forward looking to have a good time, the Ravager is not what you want to see across the table.
Yep.
I can't wait for local stores to be hit by Ravager Bile.
I mean, it's always worth considering. All three of us focus more on a competitive style of play, but it's worth considering that is the vast minority of games. So when we're looking at models, stepping outside of that and saying, hey, but does this at least work in a different setting? The Ravager is probably even worse in a different setting.
Yep.
You can have a lot of funs with Zerglings. We think Zerglings are bad because competitively they're just not in a great spot. But you can have a lot of fun with Zerglings if everybody's just kind of, playing for giggles. If we're beer and pretzels it, throwing Zerglings at people is great.
Yeah, I don't even think
sucks.
I don't even think Zerglings are as bad as you guys do, and as a lot of people do, because I think Zerglings are bad because 1, they don't really feel like Zerglings. They feel like far more of an elite unit than they should have.
Elitelings?
And 2, yeah, they do feel like elitelings. But the secondary part of it is that they're not. They're so much. They're effective. They're an effective unit, but man, it is work to be effective with them.
Yes.
Like you have to set them up, and I think that is a problem, right? Like you have to do a lot of work to get them set up, but then they can be effective. I mean, you and I played a game pretty recently, Mass, where I got Zerglings into Marauders, and they did a great job. They did very well. And but I needed Queen to stop you for I had to use Kerrigan Swarm card effect. I had to use Accelerated Creep. I had to deploy them very late in the movement phase, and I needed to have Queen close to stop Concussive Shells.
Yep, because I remember that. I Concussive Shelled you, and you're like, no bitch is a debuff, and you cleanse it. I'm like, no! I basically disintegrated at that moment.
Yeah, but that's a lot of play.
It's like 500 points of investment to get a unit of Zerglings.
Yeah. Right. But also, the Queen was doing things the rest of the game, too, right? Like, she did things every turn. So, but it did mean that I needed to have a Queen in place for where the Zerglings were going to get in. And I used my Kerrigan Swarm faction card on them. And, I needed that extra +1 inch. And it's a lot of work to create a situation that doesn't outperform similar units. Which isn't to say that the unit isn't effective, but why am I doing all this work?
Why are you doing all the gymnastics when you could just walk over there and open the door?
Right, yeah, I could just, if I were Marines, I could just shoot you, right? I don't have to do anything else. I just use my gun and I roll my dice.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in. That's the difficulty.
Should we talk about Apex's new best friend, the Cocoon?
I hate the Cocoon. Well, maybe I hate the Cocoon. So the Cocoon is either cheeks or it's super cheap. I don't think there's any difference here.
Can we talk about its one major problem?
Well, okay, so let's talk about the Cocoon. The Cocoon is a unique. It gives you one supply slot. It is not worth any biomass.
Why?
You have to get benefit out of its abilities. It has a once per game ability where you can kill a roach to turn it into a Ravager. But remember, you have to have the supply available. This doesn't let you, mess around a supply. And I don't know how often you'll want to do that, because killing a roach to get a Ravager is probably worse than just bringing the Ravager on. And the other one gives the active, non-unique biological unit with a size characteristic of 1, respawn 2.
Can I?
So that is only Zerglings. It is not Kerrigan's Raptors. You could do it with Swarmlings, Zerglings, Raptors, or I guess you could do it with Roachlings. And respawn can also not let you change supply. So once you hit a supply breakpoint with your Zerglings, you cannot respawn past that. Which also limits how good respawn is. Like I said, if this thing is dirt cheap, sure, great. Maybe you'll get some value out of respawn, as we've just talked about how hard it is to make Zerglings work, and how badly Ravagers also kill Zerglings. But that's kind of all it does, and that's a awkward ability.
Yeah, I'm very what the fuck is the point of this damn card?
Like I said, if it's cheap, if I can use this because I've got 15 points sitting around, because we don't know how much gas it costs, that's great. If this thing has a real gas cost, I don't understand.
What's a real gas cost? Is it 25? Yeah, is it a barracks?
If it's 25 or more, I don't think it's going to see a lot.
Okay, so if Cocoon is a barracks, is bad.
Probably. Again, because it's not worth any biomass. I think if it was a biomass, you'd have a lot less issues with it.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it has to get value out of that respawn 2, and respawn is awkward.
Yeah, I think I do have an issue that respawn is its every turn ability. I see that same problem. I think there are a lot of ways it could be fine.
If it did not have the size respawn, 1 restriction, I think it wouldn't be bad for a
no, because then you
heal.
respawn Hydralisks.
Is respawn models, or is it just health? No, it's
Models.
Ooh.
You'd bring back a Hydralisk all the time. It'd be terrible.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
No,
Yeah,
like
roaches it'd be really good on. It'd be good. No, you can't do Ravagers. Roaches it'd be really good on because they're pretty bulky. So, like, I
what if it
understand
was
why
like-
it's the size characteristic of 1.
Yeah.
It's
what
just
if it was like dodge 2 though, right? Like it could be a somewhat weak ability that will come up pretty often, or like
consistently
precision,
useful ability.
yeah, or precision 1, you know, or like what if it was just or if it was precision 2, and it was like it's just the problem is not that the problem is that respawn is not an every turn ability, realistically.
No.
And having a card that doesn't make biomass, that doesn't have an every turn ability is,
It's bad.
I mean, awkward is the best, awkward best case.
No,
right?
I'm stepping on the cocoon. Fuck this thing.
I don't. The problem is, it is also the first time we've seen anything that allows you to spend gas for minerals. Right? Like, a roach is worth 56.5 points, right?
So
Yeah, thereabouts.
So a Ravager's gonna be worth more than that.
So we just
So
need
you're
to know the conversion rate, and if it's a good conversion rate, like when we change CAD to USD, and are we in a good spot right now?
Right. So there is some conversion rate aspect to it. I do think it struggles from like respawn not being a very useful, like a consistently useful thing. Like I said, if it was respawn or heal too, I think it would probably be fine, because there's almost always going to be something to heal.
Yeah, that'd actually be way better for it. What is it? Is it good for swarmlings? Can you multi respawn? Can you cocoon and swarmling and get like?
Yeah, I mean, you could. But swarmlings are also like real rough.
Yeah, like it does work. It's not good.
Swarmlings already have respawn and they're not seeing play.
But what if we added more respawn?
But they're not seeing play. To be fair, the reason they're not seeing play has nothing to do with respawn.
Is it because they're like a million fucking points?
They're very expensive and they're very fragile. Like they're even more fragile than regularlings.
They cost 60% more. Like they cost what, 70 points more than lings, or 40 points more than big lings.
40 points more than big lings, I think. Yeah.
But they do about the same. They have about the same survivability and damage output as small lings, so they're about 80 points more. With one minor exception, of course, because we always have to have one, which is that their impacts are better.
Are they? Zerglings, swarmlings. You are a 5 up evade. What's bad instead of a 4 up?
They're worse at hitting as well, and they don't have any upgrades either. If you wanted to upgrade them, like they can't take the claws or anything.
5 ups.
Yeah,
and they just have burrow ambush. What the fuck? Jesus.
Yeah. So you're looking
for
so
260.
36.
Oh my god.
So both of them are doing 12 hits, right? If you take a small Zergling unit versus Swarmlings, because that's probably the closest equivalent.
Mm-hmm.
Then in melee, you're both doing 12 hits. So they're 80 points more. What are we getting out of that? We're getting 6 wounds, but we're losing evade. Like, let's assume that we have that extra evade. So out of 18 saves, that extra +1 evade is worth 3 of those wounds. And like we're getting respawn. I'm just like, you're paying 80 points for this respawn, or you're paying like 60 points for the respawn.
So
it's pretty.
So then is the cocoon worth 60 points? And is that the gas conversion ratio? Like, fuck.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
And like we don't know what the gas cost is. I think if it was like 15 or 20 points, I think if it was under 30 points, it would be way too good. I am kind of against Apex on this. I worry, like, I think somewhere in the 25 to 30 range, it runs into awkwardness problems. And I don't know if there's a solution for that.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, respawn is like if you respawn with it every turn and you paid 30 points for it, you are very happy. Like, it's very, very good. If it returns if it returns 8 models and makes a Ravager, it was very good that game.
Yeah.
The problem is, like, what if it doesn't though?
What if all the Zerglings die? And they
Yeah, like if your Zerglings get stuck on a like breakpoint, or I don't know, like
because it's
they just
also
get
in the
blown up.
movement phase. You got to use the respawn, so you can't just like cocoon in the assault phase after they take a big shot, bring back 2 really quick, and then charge in.
Yeah, if it was any phase, that would certainly help it.
Yeah. And like in the combat, you got your like 4 Zerglings in there. You can bring back 2 to get up to 0 supply and then like fight some more. Yeah, having it trapped to the movement phase, like I get why they did that to like not have weird shit happening. Because like, okay, how do you place them into like coherency? I don't know if like how you do that. So maybe you're like thread extending. Like how does respawn game rules respawn?
I'm pretty sure they have to be in coherency.
Could be
It's been a while since I read it though, so I could be wrong.
Swarmlings, movement phase, respawn. Return destroyed units. The return units cannot increase the unit supply. Do not turn off it. It will be pushed the unit entire supply. Set each return model base-to-base contact with an existing model in the unit. Return models cannot be set within the engaged range of any model. Okay, so you get a base size of threat extension if you did in the assault phase.
Okay, I mean
it's movement phase though, right?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like if the respawn was in like the like any phase, it'd be a bit better because then at least you could get shot in the face and then get in there and then respawn and then attack, kind of thing.
Yeah, that would almost be more interesting. But then you're getting shot and it's Zerglings.
You accept your fate as a Zergling, okay? You're getting shot.
It is not ideal.
I mean, if it was any phase though, it could be you charged and took, and got shot with your evade up and took a little bit of damage, and then it gave you extra melee attacks.
Yeah,
that would be slightly better, but it's very awkward. It's a very awkward card.
It is a very awkward card because, what I was saying while you were away was that, like, I feel like if you paid 25 to 25-ish points for it, 25, 30 points for it, and you did actually respawn 4 times and make a Ravager, you're probably really happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can live the dream, like that's kind of the card, right?
Like, yeah. Even and if you get if you respawn 3 times, I don't know. I guess the Ravager feels like it's worth about 15 to 20 for me, and then each respawn you get is worth about 5. So the problem
it's
is
also unique, which amuses me. Like, why would you want to take more than one of these things? Like, even if it were cheaper, right? Like, it's not generating you biomass.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
I think some of that might just be video game stuff. I don't know.
I have no idea either.
I don't know if you could build multiple of them, or maybe there's just like a little bit of fear of like, but what if somebody just makes 3 Ravagers?
No, it's once per game.
Well, now if you had multiple cards, like you could convert a whole regiment.
This card's unique, so you can't have multiple.
I mean, to do that though, you are paying a fair chunk of gas, regardless of what its gas price is, because you're taking multiple of it, and 170 points for the roach unit you just killed.
Yeah, we were discussing like, why does it have to be unique? And it's like, it's probably just a fear thing of like just in case. But yeah, it doesn't need to. I agree that it being unique doesn't really make any sense.
I suppose the Ravager morph would be pretty good if you had the supply open and you only had like 1 roach left and it was on like 2 life. And then you just convert it into a full life Ravager.
Yeah, like that's certainly when it's at its best.
Yeah.
There's other like weird stuff that I've thought about because I like to think of weird angles. It's one of my favorite things to do in games. So like if you're burrowed, you're not scoring. But in the combat phase, you can convert one of your roaches into a Ravager, and it's past shooting and everything, and it will score.
Okay, wait, hear me out, right?
Man, what?
So you've burrow ambushed on roaches on turn 1.
Yep.
Okay. Oh no, it's the active friendly unit. Never mind. So you've got roaches on. And they're like
you can burrow ambush them on.
Oh no, because
it's any phase.
No, it's movement.
It's movement. And that ends their activation. So you can't do that way. I was thinking, like, if you burrow ambushed them on, you could morph one into a Ravager. Because the Ravager gets to activate after you make it. Right?
Does it? The morph room?
Nothing says it doesn't.
Morph. The morph.
Yeah, unless morph says you do.
It doesn't morph. I didn't read morph. I guess I should pull that up.
Yeah.
Does it start with a token on it? I was gonna say, can you use this to launch bio like way up the table? I gotta find morph in here.
Yeah, I know, right? Trying to figure out where all shit is.
Keyword glossary. Morph. Oh no, it does count as activated. It cannot be activated, so you can't even do that. Never mind. You can't do the jank like I use this to catapult a single Ravager way up the table to start throwing out bile really early. Turn the bad luck.
Yeah. All right, I think we should get into the next one. What is the siege tank with Terran? Talk about that bad boy. I think it's good.
So the model looks fantastic.
I mean, yeah, I think it's good.
I don't think it's like.
The model looks great, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's probably one of the best models they got. I don't think it's as feast or famine or remotely as feast or famine as the Ravager and its bio launcher. I think it will do consistent work each turn, and you're probably gonna you kind of have to take the ability to swap it into a tank, because for some reason you gotta pay for that. And I was talking to a bunch of guys in the video game. Supposedly in Wings of Liberty,
1, baby.
Yeah, you had to buy this upgrade, and I played a bunch of ranked games, and I guess it's been so long I forgot that you had to buy the transformation for the siege tank in the competitive ranked of Starcraft 2 when it first came out, Wings of Liberty, and then they got rid of it at one point because they're like, oh, that's dumb. But besides that, it's the only thing that's going to cost it CP, and then all its other crap is just 0 or reactions, so you're just doing it. I like what it is doing for the shots. It's got surge, and its damage is based off of the size of the unit, so it's going to be killing Zerglings very effectively. It kills Marines really effectively, and I think it kills Adepts pretty well as well, and maybe does some damage into what the hell are they? Zealots? But it might also blow up a Stalker, because you get blast template, so if you hit 2 Stalkers and your 4 dice, and with the combination of the Tech Lab Factory, which gives it precision 2, you can kind of get 6 shots off that's all surged, and then it just takes 3 damage due to its size, so you do 6 times 3, that's 18 damage, blows it up, right? Is my mathing right?
Nope,
wrong?
Your math was right, but you read the ability wrong. So
which one?
It would only surge 2.
It only because it's surge per the model in the blast. That's right. Okay, so you surge 2. Yep. So it's still taking 6 before they get to make their armor roll. It's still pretty good because that will.
I didn't say it wasn't good.
Yeah, if you break the shield, if they miss 1 save of those 6 shot or those 4 armor saves, because it made 6, because that's how the dice be dicing while it's blast. You'll kill a Stalker. What's pretty good for a siege tank, just blowing up a Stalker. So it kind of ends up taking a supply a turn, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it should do 9. It should do 10.5 if you hit 2 of them with precision 2, because you're gonna surge 2 and you're gonna have 5 hits, because you're gonna have 8 dice or 6 dice, and that's 3 hits plus 2 from precision.
Yeah.
And then 2 of those surge through, and then 1.5 saves because the Stalkers are 4 up. But killing a Stalker, you're going to take a supply off of them. There's a pretty good chance you do 3 damage to the other Stalker, putting it pretty low. It's quite good.
Yeah.
I think that overall the model is going to be very strong.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be it's going to be very consistent for what it does. and I think it's upgrades of like what is it, coordinated shot, where you can kind of bank, or you don't require line of sight anymore, you don't require range, and as long as the target's within 8 inches of a friendly, like that's gonna be really good. The shaped blast for pinpoint and locked in, if like someone's engaging you, is gonna be really nice. And smart shells for indirect and long range if people are trying to hide behind the walls. Like all these upgrades are kind of something I feel like you want to take. Like you just want to max out a siege tank with everything, and just take one.
I think coordinated is a little bit on the fence. I think it's good if you can take it, but it's not something I would like be clamoring to grab.
That is true, because like a lot of Terran wants to be not within 8 inches.
Where coordinated strikes gets me isn't now, it's when we have flyers.
Yeah. Coordinate strike off the flyer, because it doesn't say ground or anything.
No, and you cannot engage a flyer, and flyers ignore most terrain.
Thank goodness the Raven. The Raven is the next wave. Glory to the Raven.
Yeah, like I have some concerns about what that does. Again, kind of to the list thing where it's like, well, you have to have some anti-air and you need it on the table real fast.
But also, so like if you
it'll depend on, but they don't score. So unless they're doing absurd amounts of damage, like it's just one of the things. So 40K is the only game I've played that really had flyers. But there were periods of time, like that flyers were. I mean, they've been all over the board.
Yeah,
they've been way too good. They've been pretty shitty. Like whatever.
They've rarely been like just right.
Yeah,
they're either real bad or real good.
It's very hard to get them to just right. Yeah. But where I was going with that is that like in the times I've played 40K, there have been a lot of times where they've just been okay. Like you can just let a flyer fly around and shoot for a couple of turns, and you don't really care that much.
Yes.
And that's, I think that's interesting to consider as well. Like it's, yeah, they're gonna fly around, yeah, they're gonna do some damage to you, but are they killing you? Like,
I mean, possibly when you add in the siege tank also getting to blast you on like turn 1.
I mean, sure, but
you're probably
can you get to? It's not that hard to kill the siege tank, right? The siege tank has to be pretty stationary.
Yeah.
So I think there's a pretty reasonable like chance that the siege tank is just gonna be where it's at. Like an immortal can just take that hit because it'll be like, how about that's 1 damage today?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't shoot some things particularly well. Other things it really, it's not like it's the answer for everything in the game. Like I don't think coordinated strike is going to be, overpowered, typically speaking, unless the Raven is by itself. It's one of those abilities that I think is more awkward and frustrating than OP.
And if you look at Wave 1, it's only, ironically, it's probably the worst for Zerg, but Hydras Hydras shoot air, Adepts shoot air, Stalkers shoot air, Marines shoot air.
The Queen shoots air. So, there are a lot of tools to shoot air that are already in the game. I mean, Goliath technically, but let's not talk about that. Actually, does the Goliath get better if air is decent? Because its anti-air is actually pretty good.
You have Marines, just fucking. You have 18 shots with the Marines or 16 shots with the Marines. Who gives a fuck about the Goliath at that point?
Fair.
I think the Goliath needs 2 more wounds.
Return it back to 12. Going to 10 was a mistake.
It was doing a little too well, I think, when it was at 12, but I don't know. It's just not. Every time I play it right now, it just kind of blows up.
Yep.
I feel like it's pretty good, and then it dies, and I'm like, oh.
Like the siege tank's fine against little chip damage, but if you take a dedicated shot into it, it kind of explodes. Like it has a 5-up save with tough 1. Like it's not gonna live through a lot of crap. Like it does have the most wounds at 14, but you can just kind of hit it real hard twice, it'll probably just go down.
I'm also assuming it's expensive.
Probably.
It's a 2 supply elite. This I would assume is pretty expensive. There are 2 formatting things I don't necessarily like about just the card. I think the shock cannon damage should just say X, so you actually read aftershock rounds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, instead of just one.
Yeah, and I am thrown off by why it is size 2 but treated as a size 3 model until it goes into siege mode, at which case it is just size 3. I don't understand the purpose of this.
Which one is that?
Like,
Is
so
that
you can hide it when it's not a...
Oh, it's large. Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, it's so that you can hide it behind walls. That's the only thing it does. I don't know if that's if that matters, but that is the thing it does.
I think
It's a lot of text. It's a lot of text.
I think it's just trying to prevent them from like this massive 150. It's 150 bills. I saw it on the Ravager. Yeah, it's 150.
That's huge.
I'm trying to get the Colossal through a 1-inch gap for gap clearance because it's size 2. I don't know why they just make it size 3 innately, like all the
That's
time.
what I mean. Just have it be size 3.
So
then
stupid.
you don't have this whole rule thing that people are gonna play wrong.
Supposedly, it can destroy size 0 in one terrain.
It just rolls right through it. But size 1.
Yeah, during it's immediately removed from the
I
game.
think on most of the TTS maps, those pipes are size 1. Some of them are the thin ones.
From the starter set, there are like some of the pieces are supposed to be size 1.
Yeah,
Like some of the bigger like scatter terrain pieces are technically size 1.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. So you can just cruise through scatter terrain. That's actually all right. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that part's good.
Is that the build? Am I
pretty-
going to take a bunch of car tanks and just drive them around to get rid of all the size 1 while shooting you with my twin cannons?
Shooting you with twin cannons. Like, is car mode good? I mean, the twin cannon's a pretty decent chunk of attacks.
There's no upgrades for it, and it's just like range 12
yeah,
for Pierce 2. Why don't I just take a Marauder?
Everything does seem to very much be about being in siege mode all the time.
Yeah, like, okay, you get within range 12, you get 2 more dice than an MSU of Marauder, and you get a better surge dice. Like, why don't I just take Marauders that don't have to be a colossal size base running around?
All right,
Yeah,
so here's
I think the car tank plan is the reason it has the size 2 thing is so that you drive up turn 1 behind a wall, and then turn 2 you change forms and start shooting, but you're like protected turn 1. I don't know if that's necessary, but I think that's I think that's the plan.
Because I think a lot of people are going to see that thing and go, yeah, that's probably size 3, because it's going to be the same size as the Queen and the Goliath and everything, and they just kind of know innately. If a model is X tall, it's size 3.
It's going to be it's much bigger than them, though, like width-wise.
So it should be size 4.
It should be size 3, like,
yeah.
because then we don't have to have, like, we don't want it being taller than the buildings, because it isn't. But it is a size 3 model. It should be a size 3 model.
Yep, I agree. Okay.
All right, so what are you using to mark your shaped blast and your smart shell usage?
Another siege tank.
You gonna break out your mini feat tokens from War Machine?
I don't know. I think I sold all that. I think I kept all the condition tokens, like the fire and corrosive, so maybe I'll use those. I got them somewhere in a little tin, like Dave's tea can.
I'm hoping for sleeves. I think my plan is to sleeve the cards and then like dry erase or wet erase them.
I'm literally just not gonna give a fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch my opponent scream at me when I don't have my card sleeve and I shuffle my deck. And then I'm going.
And you're gonna smart shell every round.
Yeah, they can't. You can't prove that I didn't do it. I have a Kala the Vast Commander deck from like 2010 or something. Whenever it first came out, I picked it up at a con for like $30. I've never sleeved that deck. I don't know. It's like a bunch of money right now. I think it might be $300 or something. And I played Magic, and one of my friends like literally like had a bit of a panic attack when I ripped that thing out and then started to like card shuffle it. They're like, "Oh my god, these cards are so expensive!" I'm like, what are you talking about? This is just my deck. Like, I don't care. I bought it for $30.
Well, and you played it for a while already, so it's like once they're worn, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not reselling this.
Yeah, and I mean, unless you're like taking a bath with them, they're probably gonna be into slightly to heavily played. And it's not really going to change.
A well-played deck. But yeah. Tech Lab, you get Heal 2, and you get Precision 2 on a stationary... Mechanically as a stationary status. Oh boy, the Siege Tank. Or if a Goliath stands stills for some freaking reason. But yeah. I don't know, it's good.
I mean, like, if a Goliath is engaged, whatever.
It's 1 CP. It has supply 2 elite. Wow, I wonder if the siege tank is 2 supply. Like, oh, okay, perfect.
I think they actually said that on stream. I mean, yes, obviously it's pretty obvious that it's 2 supply.
It also says it on the card right here at the bottom underneath the word unique.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
No, not
so the flashback to the cocoon that does not give you a slot to take a Ravager.
It gives you an elite slot. You can take a Hydra with the cocoon.
To be fair, cocoon does nothing for Ravagers. It just creates one.
Fair. This is also very true.
Maybe it'll have more.
So I think
more it does sort of give you a core slot, though, right? Like if you want your list to be 1 extra supply, you kill a roach, and then there you go.
I think the siege tank's probably like it's going to be more consistent than the Ravager, and I'm kind of happy for it. It had some weird movement shit going on, but I think that'll kind of get smoothed out as people play it.
I'm happy with the tank. I think the tank looks really good.
Let's talk about our new best friend and second hero, who already has a con exclusive, Zeratul.
Look at Zeratul's card.
Well, he's got a lot of shit. I'll tell you that.
Yes, he is very, very word dense here.
Yeah.
So he's like get in and fight melee, but not super durable himself. Correct? He's got like kind of the Kerrigan thing going on.
Yeah, but I think he's better at it because he hits on 3s.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like Kerrigan, you pretty much have to take the card for.
Yeah, I think he's kind of worse at it. I don't know. He's in a weird spot where like, if you are giving precision 2, he's worse than Kerrigan.
Which you should be doing with Kerrigan most of the time.
I mean, because if you give him precision 2, you should have 4 hits. And if you give Kerrigan precision 2, you should have 5 hits. And 5 is more than 4.
Yeah,
so,
but he has...
She also doesn't surge, she has flat crit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
He's surged light and armored, so he doesn't get it against, other heroes?
Nope. But he does have instance, so he can't react against his bullshit.
Yeah.
And I think he has... I thought I read it, but I'm like lagging on pulling up card right now. Doesn't he have a thing to... Yeah, sentence to death gives him crit 2 against a target, but that is a movement phase ability.
Yeah, and he has
you have to telegraph.
Okay.
Target enemy unit battle makes a close
his
combat
blink is movement phase as well. Interesting.
Yeah, that's not good.
And cannot get him into engagement.
No, it cannot. But it's bad. So he's got to like blink and run around a wall and stab you. Like, all right.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, that's bad.
Void Prison seems pretty cool.
I don't think it's too bad, but it's also...
I don't think you're going to use it that much. It just sounds cool. Like, Void Prison sounds annoying.
So you set an indicator within 8 inches of him, not wholly, so it's probably going to be... It's like more like 10, 10.5-ish. While enemy units are within 2 of it, this indicator, they suffer debuff speed 2.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's also hidden all the time. And he's also stays hidden while in melee, which lets him get his evade, so he's a 5-up, 5-up.
I mean, everybody stays hidden while in melee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he like cool. It doesn't have like the stalker thing where it's like once you use your action you are revealed. You are no longer hidden.
Right, yeah.
He's just always hidden.
Interesting.
Yes, he doesn't lose it. Yeah. He never loses.
And then you can always spend a PE to get a 4-up evade against everybody. It's not
repeatable.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 5 days.
Against this attack though.
Oh, against
so you'd have to use it more than once. Like you could, but he does seem like he's going to be quite resource hungry.
He's got 5 piss point abilities. He is the cardest hog of an old man ever. Like, this guy has gone so senile. He's like, tell me what to do. Let me have your cards. You're like, stop it, Grandpa.
Stop it, Grandpa.
Yeah. Also, he has Shadow Strike. All enemy units engaged with him suffer hits 4. It's kind of... Well, it is actually kind of extra damage if you're doing a 1v1, but also if you like engaging your primary target and also medics, you can just Shadow Strike the medics and just watch them kind of like eat a bunch of damage.
Yeah. Shadow Strike it's a good ability. Mm-hmm. It's a little like... But again, like you said, he's gonna eat your cards, and Protoss already is kind of a card hog of a faction.
And Protoss lists only tend to have 7 cards, so like it's going down quick. It's not great. He like
Interesting.
I
He's
think
interesting.
he
He
is
seems
interesting.
fun.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. I think Artanis still kind of beats him out for a usable hero in Protoss. But if you want to build a Zeratul, I think there's enough stuff in like the next little bit of things we have to reveal, like their Zeme faction card. What the hell is it? The Narazine Adepts. Like, oh, he also has the Void Seeker. That one was moved over. So like, there's a bunch of stuff in here that would make him good and take some stuff you want with him if you want to do like a hidden Protoss list. I think there's enough stuff. So like, you can do it. I think it'll be fun, but I think if you're looking for a competitive win an event, I don't think you're taking him. Or it might be your secondary list in case for some reason your opponent's countering your primary Atlantis list.
I mean, I think I agree that you're probably taking Artanis. I don't know if that precludes you from taking him.
Would you double hero? Would you power field?
Powerfield is not. Yeah, Powerfield is not an exciting card, but I could definitely see like Protoss right now always kind of feels like we have too many supply in our lists. Like it's legitimately a bit of a challenge in wave 1 to get down to like 12 to 13 supply.
Not
which means
have
a lot of
not have 15.
Yeah, not have 15. So in that case, I kind of like I think that we might be seeing some double hero, and he is a good secondary hero.
Yeah, I mean, he's good if he can just roam around and murder.
Yeah. You could put him behind a wall on a flank and be like, you want to take that zone, you have to fight Zeratul.
Right.
Because he'll do enough with just like 2 PE. If he can charge onto his opponent, do the 4-up save, do the Shadow Strike with his regular attack, he'll do great. Just stabbing them in the face. And
I like the faction card.
Yeah.
Like the hidden until end of round on a biological unit, which, as you commented, doesn't go away.
Yep.
Like, it's not like Stalker hidden, it's just hidden till end of round. Void Seeker hides anything with Stalker hidden, which is also quite good.
Also, the other one, the personal transportation. I played a game where my opponent did the overcharge nexus and flickered units off the battlefield back into reserve. And I would move my stuff up to go shoot it, and then he would like flicker it out, and I'd be like, damn, guess that's gone. And it was kind of annoying. Like, this one allows you to flicker out and then also redeploy. What's kind of nice, so it's just there.
It does work with Artanis too.
Oh Jesus!
So
God.
Can use Void Seeker to blink Artanis out and redeploy him with Phase Prism.
Oh my God! Please no.
So, like, when you said that you didn't think he was going to be in your competitive list, I think Narazim
Artanis.
Void Seeker is Narazim required, by the way. I think this is the first tactical card in the game that has had a faction restriction on it.
Probably, but still, hidden Artanis is going to be annoying as fuck.
Yeah, like Void Seekering Artanis looks really good. Like, that's something I want to do. That sounds fun. And yeah, it is questionable on whether or not. Obviously, we don't have the point costs, so like it's questionable on whether or not that's going to fit in a list with Powerfield. Because I mean, Powerfield it's bad. Yeah. But like, not going to beat around the bush on this one.
Quickly back to the Narazine faction card. If a friendly unit loses hidden, it gains buffed speed 2 and its first weapons used gain crit 2. If Zeratul gets revealed, you can just do that.
Yep, if he gets revealed, you can do that. That's especially good, obviously, with Stalkers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, that is really good.
Because if you hidden them on, like, you shoot and you hide, and then you're hidden through the next turn, right? And then you're like, oh, I want to, I'm gonna move. So you then move into position, and then you use that, and like now you have crit 2. That combos really well with Stalkers.
Or if someone orbitals you, you can be like,
yeah, just Yeah, like if somebody does orbital to reveal Zeratul, well, all of a sudden he's gonna have to go early in the assault phase, which but like he's gonna be doing it with an extra 2 speed and 2 crit. So it's a little bit of a catch-22. He should be able to charge out of. He's more likely to be able to charge out of the orbital then, because he'll be move 9. I think he's 7 base.
Yeah, he's going up to 9. He's a 7. A mean boy.
I mean, 7's normal speed. I kind of wish he was 8 actually.
But he's got that blink. He's moving around.
It's a movement phase.
Yeah, I know. That's I think the only one of the downsides about him, and also he's a card hog. We're gonna talk.
To be fair, though, they did say that these cards aren't the final cards, so who knows? Maybe that'll change. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool, and also maybe some of these PE stuff he'll be less of a card hog. That'd be
that would be helpful.
Nerazine Watchers, the new adepts.
I mean, obviously point costs matter, but these things seem great. Like
pinpoint,
three shots pinpoint, like anti-evade on pinpoint gun.
Yeah,
they have Path of Shadows, which obviously does work with the Nerazim reaction, as we just talked about with Stalkers being able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like them. Like they are an exciting unit.
I have questions.
Go ahead.
These things are core and not unique.
Yeah, you can spam them. They're like Rainers Raiders.
Yeah, it's a little bit odd.
Yeah, I mean,
are they better than regular adepts, or is this kind of a side grade that you take because it does neat things?
I think you take a mix.
Yeah, they don't replace regular adepts.
You can't take other upgrades on them, right? They don't have anything crazy they can do.
No, but they got pinpoint and
they don't have any upgrades.
Pinpoint's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they basically have a built-in, like they get pinpoint and they have resonating glaives, but it doesn't cost a PE built in, so it's kind of this weird, like, to be fair, resonating glaives shouldn't cost a PE. But
yeah.
In my opinion, resonating glaives should have been 30 points and not cost a PE.
Same with combat shields. It shouldn't cost a CP for like put the shield in front of you. God damn it!
Like, they don't have psionic presence either, right?
No, they don't have the precision one with the shade. Instead, it's a reveal with the shade, but they still get to move to their shade.
You have your shades marked separately as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have like a different color shade or something.
Oh,
make them purple.
Yeah.
I really like them. I think they're a great addition, and
they're cool.
Yeah,
do neat things.
Well, another thing is like you're gonna charge your zealots in, tie up a unit, and then these adepts are gonna be like bam bam, like they might Twilight Council for range 12 and like shoot into melee, and you're like, please stop! I'm already dying to zealots. And also they can hide right after, which is kind of nice. Like Water Tribe. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. They're pretty neat.
Yeah, I like this. I like this Nerazine faction already. I like what it's doing. Zeratul's a bit of a card hog, but the rest of it I think is really strong and has a lot of unique and interesting play for Protoss.
I think Zeratul's good too. Like I think he's a good piece. Yeah, he's a card hog, but he doesn't have to be.
No,
like
he's a card hog.
If your opponent ignores him, he can just charge, and like assuming there's an adept shade nearby, which probably, right? You're playing Protoss, like that's kind of how you're built. He's gonna hit with 4 or 5 attacks, or like 3 or 4 attacks, the vast majority of the time. Almost always 3, often 4.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna surge 2 of them, and he's just gonna do 4 damage with instant. You know, like it's not exciting, but unless depending on cost, of course, he's gonna be doing very reasonable damage. And you can always just throw cards at him to add more potency.
Yeah, I mean, I think the play thing on him is figuring out how not to get him killed. Like he needs to choose his spots.
Yeah,
and that's fine. That's good design.
Oh, he can blink out of melee. That's good.
Yeah, he can blink out, not in.
And then he just cycle charges over and over and over again.
He blink and run.
I mean, yeah, he doesn't like. Which, to be fair, he's fast enough that cycle charging, like if he's not revealed or if reveal gets used somewhere else on the table, like he can just teleport out of melee range. and then gets just teleport outside of 4. He can't be shot unless, again, if the reveal's already used. So like that's pretty good.
I mean, you could also potentially use him to leapfrog a screening unit to get to Jimmy.
God damn it.
Yeah, like you charge in, you're safe a little bit there, and then you blink out and you threaten a charge on Jimmy.
Yep.
Because you need to kill Jimmy. Like it is worth trading Zeratul for Jimmy most of the time.
Yeah, it's worth trading anyone for Jimmy.
Yeah, so
Jimmy
if you can
die.
threaten that, there is value out of Blink and kind of the weird plays sometimes. Blink is also going to let him get to a zone if he's still alive late game.
Yeah.
Like Blink makes him super fast. He's 14, 20 inch range to get to a zone. He doesn't count as 2 supply.
No, he does not.
He does not. So to get 1 supply onto a zone if you need it, if it wins you a game, it wins you a game.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Immortal, the big daddy. The Siege Tank's bigger, but people are probably excited for this thing. First up, though, is Robotics Lab, because that's the first card that's available to click on. That it's the Immortal, so it's a reaction before a friendly mechanical ground unit makes an armor roll. It has if it has the shield status against tough 1 and dodge 1. And has two elite supply to get you your Immortal.
2 elite supply on a non-unique card is unusual in Protoss, correct?
What
it's our first 2 elite supply card. So okay. Just because of that, it's good.
Okay.
Are Stalkers elites? Oh, Stalkers are elites. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Stalkers and Immortal are elite.
And what about
the Stalkers are also mechanical, right?
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
It works on Stalkers.
Praetorian Guard are also elite.
Not for it. They're not mechanical though, so you can't plasma shield.
But you could use it for Praetorians for some dumb reason.
All of these are bigger size that are coming out though. Does that make Praetorian Guard a little bit better?
Oh, you're right. Oh, maybe. Because Ravagers
maybe
don't they do more damage to bigger sizes? I don't remember.
Yeah, they do 2 damage against size 3.
Yeah, so I mean, if you get them into a siege tank that's in siege mode.
Well, it can't shoot you, so it's just trying to step on you with its little legs.
Yeah.
They obliterate siege tank and Ravager, right? They'll.
Yeah.
They're very good into size 3 things. Those are both size 3 things with 5-up saves. They don't want Praetorians to hit them in the face. Neither one of them will enjoy having a Praetorian hit them.
Okay.
But they're still expensive, so.
What's your Praetorian? Something I know. 280? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
They are a little expensive. Okay. The Immortal. Ben, tell us about your big boy here. Your sweet baby boy.
He's got guns.
You were most excited for this thing many a time. I know you've been
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. No, I was just I decided to play it down for no reason.
No, you've been excited for this thing for how many months?
I mean, not as excited as Leaf, but to be fair, I didn't play that much StarCraft 2. So I played the campaign when it came out and then never played it again. Not for any reason. I haven't really played RTSs. I had kind of bounced off of RTSs 5 years or so before StarCraft 2 came out. And then it was StarCraft, so I decided to play it. But yeah. That's neither here nor there. Immortal in this game, because tabletop games I still enjoy playing, feels pretty good. I'm really interested. For those of you at home, concentrated fire is a drawback rule. And it says that you can this weapon can only kill 1 model, basically. Any other damage is lost. So that's an interesting gun. I think that what we're probably going to see is 1 gun with concentrated fire and 1 gun without. So you kind of get this, it turns into a setup where the upgrade guns have Pierce, and they don't have, but they don't have long range. And if you use Twilight Council on an Immortal, you only get to pick one of its weapons to get that plus 4 inches of range. So if you have both Pierce guns, you're just a range 12 model. And that's pretty rough in the game right now because like things like Marauders exist and they're just going to outrange you the whole time. And I mean, so are Ravagers. Ravagers are clearly something this wants to shoot, and they're just going to be outside of 12 if you don't have the long range guns. So you're either probably using the concentrated fire guns, or you're going to use one disruptor and have Twilight Council in your list. That seems great. Indomitable's great. Like, people can't just charge it and have it shoot things it doesn't want to shoot. Like a Pierce 3 armored gun is a whole lot better when you have Indomitable, because like tying up Marauders with Adepts is a very effective strategy because they have Pierce 2, and then, you know, it sucks to be them when they're only doing 1 damage. I'm a little sad that it's improved Barrier as a reaction. It means that you can't use it with Robotics Facility. And I don't know, like, it really feels like it should have been a passive. I think he should have been like 5 shield, 10 hit with like 9 HP. Like, he should have 1 less shield and 1 more hit point, and had Improved Barrier be like a passive instead of a reaction, so that it would work better with Robotics Facility. But I don't know, it's fine. Like,
but also, like, if it's getting shot by Marauders who want to shoot this thing, you can only reduce that 2 damage, that pierce damage, down to 1 time, and then like it's like, okay, am I gonna do it for the little Marauders? The big Marauders are waiting. Like, am I gonna do it for the little Marauders and the big Marauders hit me, or am I gonna save it and then just take a bunch of damage, and then maybe the big Marauders aren't even gonna shoot at you because like they know, and they just make you waste it. You're like, oh, cool.
yeah,
so it kind of goes like there's this baiting game, like these mind games start happening, and it's like, oh, okay, why can't this just be always active until I lose my shield?
Yeah, there is, to be fair though, like, if the big Marauders are waiting to shoot you, that does mean that even if you go second, the Marines, you know, are gonna get shot first.
Yep.
You know, and like having Robotics Facility means like, okay, I get shot by the 2-man Marauders, I'll Robotics Facility that to get the tough and dodge, so that I probably only have like 1 hit go through most of the time.
Yeah, especially with your 4-up save, it's really strong.
Yep, you still have a 4-up save, so I think it works okay. It's just such an iconic ability for the Immortal, but I can see how it might have been too strong without it. Indomitable, however, makes this thing very spicy. I don't think you're gonna ever take it without taking for the Ancients.
Because what, you get precision 1 when the target's more than 8 inches away. Yeah, that's oh my god.
Like, even though you're probably adept shading to get precision on a lot of the board, that ability is just so good, because it means you don't have to put a shade over by something, like, if that's the old, you know, like, and usually if you're shooting something with Stalkers, you pretty much need to shade that thing, because otherwise you're really going to feel that lack of precision, because they just have so few shots. And with this, you just, like, you don't care, because it's so few shots, you're going to be hitting with, you know, you're going to be surging. You surge twice, which is really exciting. It really does a good job of pumping damage into heavy targets.
Yeah, I think it kills queens, it kills stalkers, it kills siege tanks, and it also can like start ripping apart Marauders 1 at a time pretty effectively.
Yep, and I do think it is difficult to play against. Like, it's fairly easy to use, but it looks like it's going to be kind of challenging to play against, because like you were saying, like, you have to kind of wear out the barrier. You have to like get those effects to work for you. You know, you have to get past the shit.
It can also like sit nicely back with its range 16, and it doesn't have to. So like people have to come forward if like a unit of like Marines want to shoot this thing, just because all their damage is 1 damage, so it doesn't care about any of its defensive stats. But it is also
Marines and
like
Zealots love, or Marines, Zealots, and Zerglings love like tearing up Marauders or tearing up
Immortals, but
whatever,
they have to
Immortals.
close the distance. That's their issue at that point, and the Immortal can
Yeah.
just sit back and just kind of start popping people. Also, something about Indomitable. I think Indomitable works better on the Immortal and the Siege Tank than like the Goliath because they are more durable targets. So it's not bad for them to just be engaged like so. While when the Goliath is engaged, it's like, oh wow, I'm just missing more. While they have enough tech with the Precision 2 and how like blast templates work, and the Immortal with its Precision 1 and its damage, that it'll still do work even if it's engaging your opponent still getting evades, because usually its targets are not getting evades anyway, or their evades are really bad. Like Siege Tank doesn't get evades, Queens don't get evades, Marauders are saving on 6s. Like the Immortal doesn't care at that point.
The Ravager has a 5-up evade, otherwise most heavy targets don't have evades.
Shush you, Zerg player.
Well, no, I was just looking through it, like, what heavies
Queen
have
doesn't.
evades?
Queen
Queen
has
has no evade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't
Marauders
matter
and
at that
Stalkers
point.
have 6.
Well, Stalkers have a 6, okay, and the Ravager has 5.
Yeah. So even then, like the Ravager is like not. It's not bad to shoot at, but it'll say better than the other guys.
I mean, the
Pylon
Ravager's
have a
definitely not McLovin it.
Who has a 6?
Does Pylon have a 6?
I don't think it has an evade because of the structure.
I don't think
It
any of the
shouldn't.
structures do.
It shouldn't.
Pylon has no evade. It's just on a 5-up.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
The Worm does not have an evade. It's just on a 5-up. So yeah, the structures don't.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about shooting the structure. Yeah, it'll tear up a structure, won't it?
Yeah.
It's got the range. It's a jolly little fella. So
interesting.
Yeah, like the nice thing about it is if you just take, I mean, I don't know what the guns cost, right? Like, those are upgrades, but if you just take for the Ancients, it's probably reasonably cheap to just have that and have the 2 concentrated fire guns, and then it's good against other big heavy things, but it's good against any single model because it's going to be good against heroes, and it's going to be great against any heavy targets, but not units of heavy targets. So it'll be great against. I mean, it'll be fine, I guess, but
you kill a Stalker in the 2-man. You kill a Marauder or maybe 2 in the Marauder man. Like it's
well, I mean, if you can get a Marauder with each gun, like
you're happy.
It's still 2 Marauders. Like, is the other one doing more? I mean, what you don't want to shoot is like Marines and Zerglings.
Yeah,
that's really it. Marines and Zerglings.
Zealots.
Adepts,
yeah, it
you
kills
probably
2
do want to
Marines.
kill Zealots.
It'll definitely kill 2 Marines.
Yeah, well, I mean, Zealots you don't care, right? Because there's only 3 of them, so if you kill 2, 1 with each gun, you're pleased with that.
Then you kick the other one to death with your stomp attack.
Yeah, it's actually fine into Zealots. So it's 2 damage shots into Zealots. It's good into Roaches. It's good into Zealots. Like you're probably gonna kill 2 Roaches. That's the supply. Probably gonna kill probably 1 Zealot because of shields, but then you'll kill the last 2 on the next round of shooting.
Kills a Ravager. What, like the Ravager's like a 2-man Ravager has 18 wounds. This is a lot, but it's gonna kill a Ravager a turn, so it's good there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you do run into the issue of if you've got heals involved or if you've got tough involved, like it's saving a fair bit in that case.
As for its other 2 upgrades, Shield Overcharge is a reaction and it costs a PE, and if used before it makes an armor save, the unit has a shield status against tough 2. I guess you can add more reactions if it's like taking a lot of fire, but I feel like you should be positioning it so it doesn't. It only takes shot once, and you can just use your shield overcharge, and you have the robotics facility. So I'm
gonna have a tough time. I'm gonna have a tough time taking shield overcharged, because
it feels like a thing you don't want to pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if improved barrier was passive, I'd be very interested in shield overcharged. But it's not. Like, so I can't use them both. So then I'm using shield overcharged if I'm getting shot by 1 damage things, and barrier from getting shot by 2 damage things. Like, I feel like no matter what, I'm going to end up losing out on some efficacy, and I don't want to be paying points to create that situation.
And then Fury Unyielding, while it's on a zone, if it's gun shoot a guy who's also on the same zone, it gets crit 1. And I'm like, no thank you. I'm good. You're way too close to that point. We're within like 6 inches of each other.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know. It's
cheap is
crit
it?
1.
Well, it doesn't have any
Honestly,
points, so we have no idea how cheap that one is either.
That's what I mean. Like, if this is one of those things where it's like 10 points and you've got 10 points left in the list, it's like, all right, late game, this could be really helpful.
Yeah. I wish it was anti-evade instead of crit, to be honest.
Fair. But yeah, it's like, kind of that deal, like, if this is super cheap,
like it's going to be if I'm engaged, yeah.
Yeah, if it's super cheap and you've got the points left, I can see why you would put this in as like, all right, I have points to burn and I need to get rid of them. Maybe this wins me a game because we're fighting over a mission marker late and that one crit does it. Like the 1 out of 50 where this wins you a game is worth it if it's 10 points and you had 10 points left in your list. This is one of those like first cuts though. Like, I need 10 points, done with Fury.
Yeah, I think you're always thinking for the ancients on this thing though. It's just a great upgrade.
Probably because you want to be 8 out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
when
I
you
mean,
get passive precision for being where you want to be, sign me up.
Yeah, I'll pay points for that.
Yeah, like, unless it's a lot of points, it's a really good upgrade. Like, it's just something you always want. I don't know. Like, I can't even think of what it would have to cost for it to not be good. I guess if it's more than like, if it's like 20% of the unit's cost, it's probably bad.
The Immortal costing 100 points. I don't know if I would spend 25 points on that.
I'm saying if it's like, if the Immortal's, in the 200 range and it's like 30 or 40, I might be questioning it. But
that's fair.
at 30,
Red even assumes 20. So
yeah, most things in the game like that are around 20.
20, yeah.
From what we've seen, so my guess would be 20. And at 20, I think I'm almost always taking it, right? Like, I can't, unless I'm playing like 4 adepts, and I just assume the whole board is going to be covered in shade tokens. And even then, I might take it.
So there's someone in the back who's always looking to get shot in the face by an Immortal. Yeah. Okay, well, that's it. We've talked about Wave 1. We talked about Wave 2. You guys excited for Wave 2?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, the game needs more diversity. So, we're fresh launch, but anybody who's played on TTS or has been fortunate enough to have models has probably been to the point where it's like, I need more things to do.
Yeah, I agree. I'm interested to see how, like, the factions all get shaken up. Protoss is probably going to be the most shaken up because it got the most stuff. But I think they're all
it did get
fantastic.
2 things.
So.
Or like 2 releases, right? Like, it got
3
units. Like, 3 units and 3 cards.
So now our Protoss players can no longer say, like, they have the lowest model count in all the factions anymore.
That is true.
All right.
The first one with 2 heroes.
Yeah, pretty good. They got a lot of builds.
Just makes me wait for Zagara.
Uh-oh, glorious Zagara. Yeah, so thank you for listening. I hope everyone had a great time. Thank you, Ben and Apex, for being on here, and we'll all talk about StarCraft. Do you guys have anything to plug before we leave?
No, sir.
Nah.
Okay, well, like and subscribe, join the BonkTable Discord, all that fun stuff is in the link in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye.
Adios.